Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Firestarter. It's a movie starring Zac Efron and the actress who plays his daughter that I don't know the name of. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off with the furry, there is a brief appearance of a cat in this one. Moving on, this is my spoiler review. So, spoiler alert. If you would like to see a spoiler-free review, I've done that, and link in the description down below. Okay, so, this movie is about Zac Efron's kid and him, because the mother dies. I don't want to say immediately, but like as soon as things start like kicking off, she gets killed. So it's about them trying to escape the government that's trying to get them. What I thought was really interesting about this, I thought the whole thing was interesting, but the fact that they use the term push when talking about the mental, like, getting into somebody, and how they use the eyeballs, like, as the key thing that was changing with people when they were activating or being affected by a power. So, I don't know if it's in the same universe as the movie Push, but I feel like it was. I feel like it was in the same universe as Push, because you still had the experiments going on, and then people kind of being let go by the organization, and then being called back out of retirement to hunt other ones. Like, the power sets being, and I realize that, again, it could theoretically just be generic power sets of like, well, telekinesis, telepathy, like, of course they're going to have them. But it felt like I felt like it was in the same universe. I don't know if it would be a prequel or a sequel type of thing. Obviously not a direct one, but like in terms of timeline, I don't know where one or the other would take place. But I did like that it felt like the powers were from the same universe, because I also really like the movie Push. If you haven't seen the movie Push, go watch the movie Push if you liked how the powers were in this movie. All right? It's not a horror movie. It's much more of a comedy action movie with emphasis on the action, but having pre-Captain America, there is good comedy there. Okay, back to this movie. So I really liked that, and the mother was fine, but man, when she got burned, ow, first of all, and then when they showed it, like, I am not a medical person. I know, you're all terribly shocked, but it didn't seem logical to me that for a burn, he was wrapping it in what looked like saran wrap before putting on the bandages. Again, I'm not a medical person, but that seems like that would keep the heat in and just not be a great idea. I don't know, maybe that's how it's done. I've never gotten severe burns on my arms needing to be wrapped up before, and I'm not going to Google that. But if one of you watching is a doctor-type person, or knows things because you're a nurse or something, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so, ouch for that. I like what she did with the kids. I'm glad that they didn't use the kid that had been bothering her, like when she stole, when she stole the bike and the clothing and whatnot from the three kids that were, circling her douchily. I'm glad that they didn't use her, I don't want to call him bully, because he's just, you know bullies. Just calling her weird, like, I don't know, man, that just seems like normal kid stuff for people that aren't, like, terribly good friends. Anywho, I'm glad they didn't have him, because I felt like that would have been way too big of a coincidence with how far away they were supposed to be. But I'm glad she didn't do anything more to those kids. I liked that she ended up having telekinetic, telepathic, and fire-starting powers. I thought that was really neat, and I'm glad that it happens. I also am one of those people that likes having basically overpowered superheroes. Not Superman level, because everything's then kryptonite. But yeah, I like that. And speaking of overpowered, it did seem a little strange to me that, like, the one dude who was in the door, like, again, towards the end, he was in the door, and he was, like, coming at her, and she squished the door on him with her telekinetic powers. But then, when the dudes in the fireproof suits were coming at her, and she's just like, ah! Like, firing them, and then they're just like, whatever, we're still here. Why wouldn't she use her telekinetic powers to, like, push them away? So I thought that was like, but it did give a good enough excuse for the guy to come in and save her. And also I realized that she's been, like, burning things down this whole time, so maybe she's a little tired. I mean, a peanut butter jelly sandwich that she stole only gives you so much energy, right? I think some people might be annoyed at like, hey, the guy who killed her mother is now taking care of her and she's cool with that. Like, I think some people might be like, that's a bad lesson. But I thought it worked out really well. I thought it made a whole lot of sense because once he saw her, like she said, once you see her, you'll understand. And he had like a spiritual moment when he experienced her power. Not like the I'm taking over your mind power, but just like experienced her power. And I liked that. So I thought it made sense that like, hey, he is going to be there for her and to take care of her. And then also that moment that they had where she's like, you know, heating him up and like, you killed my mom type of thing, but then she thought about it more and like, hey, this is not the guy that is responsible for this. Like, this building and the people inside of it are the ones that sent him to you. And I like that they didn't need to like have a narrator or have her internal monologue or even have her say like, I want to kill you, but I won't because these are the people that sent you. Like, I like that they didn't have to verbalize that. It was very clear in the imagery that they showed. So I think it makes sense that like, you know, is she gonna have some heartache about him having been the one who killed her mother? Sure, I'm sure she's gonna have her bad days where she's like, fuck you, you killed my mom. But for the most part, I think that they will work well together, which is why in my spoiler-free review, I was saying that like, hey, I hope that they do a sequel, or I didn't say a sequel, but I said I hope that it makes enough money. And here's the spoiler part, because I want a sequel to this. I don't know if it'll be good. I hope it is. I hope that they make one. I don't know if Stephen King wrote like another novel where it's like their adventures or whatever. And maybe this is the type of movie that just works better as a one-off. But from what I heard, the silence, or you know, the Quiet Place, I heard that part 2 was good. I haven't seen it because I liked how it ended and I didn't feel like they needed a sequel, but I've heard that it was good. So I didn't see how it could be good, but I've heard it's good. So same thing with this. If they make a sequel, I hope it's good, but I'll see it either way. So yeah, I also liked that I was a little surprised that she killed the director chick. Like, I knew that, you know, when the dad started pushing and being like, you gotta kill us and like you gotta burn this whole place to the ground, like I wasn't sure exactly how the dad would die, but I knew the dad would die. I'm sad he died because Zac Efron's the best, but I knew he was gonna die. I was surprised that she managed to get the director person in there because it really seemed like to me that the director person, with how much they built her up, would be one of those type of people that was like, oh shit, he's getting lit on fire. Let me move out of the way and like turn on some fire suppression as I run away type of thing and just get out of there just in time, you know, to maybe return for the sequel or something. So the fact that it's just like, whoosh, you're on fire too. I was like, yeah, good on ya. And so what I was alluding to in my spoiler-free review about, like, it seemed like they kind of cut some part out or like they kind of skipped and it was like, then that was the end. I would have liked to see her burn down more of the place, especially because this building looked like it was made of a lot of cement. I would have liked to see how she was burning the place to the ground. Like, as they had the exterior shot and it like lit on, like they had like a little extra explosion in the background, like cool, but I want to see how she was causing that. Like, did she set up the boiler room to explode? Did she find a gas line, was like, let's turn you on fire or something? I don't know, but it seemed like I wanted to see more damage to this place of evil. And I also would have liked to have seen a little bit more of whoever she was letting out. But we only got to see the dude who killed her mom, which was fine. But like I said, I would have liked to have seen it, but it's okay that they didn't have that in there. So, yeah, I don't really know much more to say about this movie because, again, in my spoiler review I talked about, I really liked the music in this one. Had very similar vibes to Shadow in the Clouds, which was just an amazing movie, and this was an amazing movie. So definitely a big thumbs up. I liked how they did her powers, and I liked how they showed like the cone of where it would affect, and then also whenever it focused on her face and she was like screaming at the screen, I liked how they did that. So just overall, every instance of power use, I liked that, and I thought it really worked. And I like how they didn't dumb things down. And I even liked the random old black guy that they pushed to help him. That was fun. I thought that worked. And I liked his character. And as far as I can tell, he didn't die. Like, he got shot in the knee, but he was getting up when they left. So, yeah, I don't know. Unless I missed the part where he shot him again, but I don't think I did. Anywho, I mean, I guess he could have like shot him after he knocked the other people out, but I think he survived, and that's good. I kind of feel sorry for his wife. 30 years of being just not a vegetable, but like quadriplegic and unable to move or do anything. Like, bro, I don't know what kind of life that is, but good on her that she forgave him. And clearly, since she was talking with the daughter, she didn't feel the need to be like, kill me. So I guess she's fine with where she's at. So good on them. Hopefully his knee can heal and they can do better things now that he's hopefully forgiven himself because she's forgiven him. So all these characters had good story arcs, good things. But yeah, I'm just kind of going over each bit of the movie that I liked at this point. So hopefully you saw it and hopefully you liked it. Let me know another movie that have you seen Shadow in the Clouds and have you seen Firestarter? If you liked both of those, recommend to me another movie in the comments down below. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.